This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, can the continue? Start this.
Okay, na? Hello, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I'll start the class now. Today's class is on maternal mortality. It is a short answer for you, 4 marks or sometimes 2 marks. And even for the safe motherhood, you can write these points also as an essay also. It is given in the previous papers. So listen, there is no difficulty in this. Only thing is you have to listen, that's all. Death of a woman while pregnant or within 42 days of termination of pregnancy, irrespective of the duration and site of pregnancy. So the pregnant lady, when she is pregnant or after delivery also, but the duration is not taken into consideration. Irrespective of duration means and site of pregnancy, it can be an ectopic also. So ectopics will be before 3 months. So irrespective of duration and site of pregnancy, from any cause related or aggravated by the pregnancy or its management, but not from accidental or incidental causes. This is a definition. So any pregnant lady or delivered after termination within 42 days, irrespective of duration and site of pregnancy, from any cause related to or aggravated by the pregnancy. See, any cause related or aggravated means, see, for example, if she has anemia, it will be usually aggravated. Hemodilution will occur. You know that. So after if she is having any cardiac problem, cardiac output will be increased at the second peak 32 weeks, isn't it? So from any cause related or aggravated by the pregnancy or its management, but not from accidental or incidental causes. This is the definition. So in our Sri Lanka has lower maternal mortality rate. And maternal mortality rate, it is defined as number of maternal deaths in a given period for 1 lakh women of reproductive age during the same time period. Okay, this is maternal mortality rate. In India, the rate will be 120 per 1 lakh women of reproductive age per year. So how you will diagnose? What is the classification? What are the causes? Direct causes around 75%, indirect around 20%. It is not 25, sorry. Non-obstetrics will be 5%. See, direct. What are the direct causes for the death of the mother? It results from the complications of pregnancy, delivery, or its management. It can be abortion, ectopic, preeclampsia, eclampsia, APH, PPH. You all know these causes as a maternal mortality. So puerperal sepsis. Indirect causes. Indirect causes are, I already told you, anemia, cardiac disease, diabetes, conditions which are present before the development of pregnancy, or they might be aggravated by the physiological effect of pregnancy and strain. These are the indirect causes. And non-obstetric causes are accidents, typhoid, and any other infectious. These are the non-obstetric causes. What are the factors responsible for the maternal mortality? Not only these diseases, there are so many factors which are responsible for the maternal mortality. See here, in a gist there are social factors. Age at childbirth. At two extremities, they are more prone for mortality. Parity, higher parity, grand multipara. Too close pregnancies. There is a risk because of severe anemia and infections. Family size is more also, the nutrition will be affected. Malnutrition, poverty, illiteracy, lack of maternal services, shortage of health manpower, delivery by untrained DICE, poor environmental sanitation, poor transport facilities, and social customs. All this play a role in causing this maternal mortality. Coming to the causes of maternal mortality, see here, here is the percentage of causes for the maternal mortality. Among them, hemorrhage, it accounts more, it is 24%. Then comes is the sepsis. Then hypertensive disorders, unsafe abortions, and obstructed labor. These are the direct causes. Okay. Causes you should write: hemorrhage, sepsis, hypertensive disorders, unsafe abortions, and obstructed labor. And indirect causes already I told you, and others. So we'll go back to the each cause. First one is hemorrhage. Hemorrhage, mostly the patients will die due to postpartum hemorrhage. So how you are going to prevent this? How you are going to prevent this? It should start, you think, in the internatal period? No. It should start in the antenatal period itself. The screening and prevention should be started in the antenatal period. How you are going to screen? So all pregnant ladies, the hemoglobin should be more than 10 grams. And you should know the blood grouping and typing. And not only that, we have to screen all the pregnant ladies who are at risk. What are the risk pregnant ladies? Who are they? Patients with multiple gestation, polyhydramnios, previous history of PPH, anemic patient, cardiac patients, okay, all hypertensive patients, and who had already had previous LSCS cases. These are the high risk cases. These are the cases which they land up in PPH. You already know the causes of PPH, isn't it? So we have to screen them and we have to advise them to have an institutional delivery. Okay? Institution is the one where all the facilities are available, including obstetrician, neonatologist, anesthetist, and blood facilities are also should be available. Then not only that, you should always, whenever the patient comes to you in the antenatal period, always keep an eye on the placental localization. That is more important. Placental localization, if it is in the placenta previa. Placenta previa cases are more prone for adherent placenta. These cases, sometimes they may land up in hysterectomies also. So whenever you come across a placenta previa or low-lying placenta, or if the placenta is attached to the previous scar area, always be careful. And we have to do the Doppler studies also to know the penetration of the placenta to prevent adherent placental problems. Okay, these are the things which we have to screen antenatally. During the intranatal period, what are the precautions we have to take? So usually, to prevent PPH, always the third stage of labor is more important. Not only that, even the delivery of the head with pentos or forceps, we have to apply properly and we have to extract the baby. Then always look after the perineal tears, and if any perineal tears, immediately we have to suture them. Number one. And cord removal should be, how it should be? Controlled traction and counter traction. That is known as Brand-Andrews technique. Brady's technique you are not supposed to use. Brand-Andrews method is the one which we have to use properly for the delivery of the placenta. And once the placenta is delivered, we have to look for the cotyledons, anything left inside the uterine cavity. So we have to check the placenta itself, whether it is completely has come or not. Number three, anything which we have to remove by manual removal of placenta also, we should be very careful in doing manual removal of placenta. And this, and not only that, fourth stage of labor is very much important to observe a patient for pulse, BP, and bleeding. Per abdominal, whether the uterus is contracted or not, and per vaginal bleeding. We have to see in the fourth stage of labor, we have to observe the mother and the fetus for at least for 1 hour. That is known as fourth stage of labor. You already know that. And not only that, we have to keep the blood transfusion ready. If anything, fluid loss is there or blood loss is there, immediately we have to transfuse. So what are the interventions we have to take? Treat anemia in pregnancy. Already I told you, skilled birth attendant, active management of third stage labor, use of oxytocin in time, replace fluid loss, and blood transfusion. These are the things which we have to keep in mind for hemorrhage. And next comes the infection. Infection is 5 C's are very much important. What are 5 C's? 5 C's are clean surroundings, clean surface, clean cord, clean cut, and clean hands. These are the 5 C's we have to keep in mind while conducting a delivery. So, and what are the precautions we have to take when you enter the labor room? Or we have to always change our slippers, our linen, and we have to minimize the per-vaginal examinations, and we have to prevent attendant entry into the labor room to be minimized. Not only that, we have to give good antibiotics to the patient. This is how we can prevent infection. Okay. Next comes the hypertension during pregnancy. So whenever the patient comes to you in antenatal period, don't rely on sisters for BP recording. You yourself have to record the BP and weight, because error will be present, always will be present in recording weight. They are not bothered, those sisters. So you are more responsible as a doctor and patient. So keep weighing machine by the side of your chair and BP apparatus on the table. You yourself record in your practice. Okay. So early detection is more important. So see whether how much she is increasing her weight, her BP. Whenever there is a BP is increasing, we have to give her antihypertensives. In spite of that, if her BP is high, or to get more care, we have to refer to the higher centers. Why you want to refer to the higher center? Because to prevent eclampsia, HELLP syndrome, and sometimes these hypertensive disorders may land up in ventilation also. And we have to keep in our hospital at the time of delivery, before that also, magnesium sulfate ampoules. Okay. Hello, can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Magnesium sulfate, and we should know how to give loading dose and maintenance dose. Not only the magnesium sulfate ampoules we have to keep, we have to, do you know what are the things to be monitored when you are giving magnesium sulfate? We have to see for the urine output, patellar reflex, and respiratory rate. And antidote, that is calcium carbonate, should be given as an antidote, isn't it? So always keep the magnesium sulfate and calcium injections also for the antidote of magnesium sulfate. And whenever you are referring, always see her BP and always refer in a ambulance where oxygen facilities are also available. Okay. Then comes the unsafe abortions. See, unfortunately, the statistics for unsafe abortions are not correct, because usually they will underplay. For deliveries, they will have correct statistics. For abortion, most of the people, they won't reveal us, because they will go for unsafe abortions. So we should be very careful while doing abortion, because the person should be skilled enough to do a DNC. Most of the time, they will go for the quacks or RMPs. We are not trained. So there are chances for perforation, chances for conceptus to be left in the uterus, and they won't use antibiotics also properly. So always go for an institution. Nowadays, it has become very easy. First 8 weeks, only medical abortions we are giving. So what are the drugs you are using in the medical abortion? Mifepristone and misoprostol. Previously, we used to do DNCs, but nowadays we are giving only medical, only drugs we are giving, and really it's a good thing. There is no invasive procedure for first 2 months. Okay. Then after the abortion also, we have to advise them the family planning methods. And the family planning method which we are advising is always welcomed by the patient. Whatever you think you have given your advice means, if they are not welcomed to the patient, they won't use it. So see their economic status, literacy, and their compliance. That is very much important when you're prescribing a family planning method. And not only that, call her husband also and give advice. That is more important than obstructed labor. What is obstructed labor? In spite of good uterine contractions, if the presenting part is not descended due to mechanical obstruction. So to know the delivery is not going in proper way, always whenever the patient come to the labor room in labor, always plot a partograph. Partograph is a method of clinical documentation that events occur in the labor room, isn't it? So what are the things you will see in the partograph? This is a short answer. Partograph is a short answer for you. So many times they are given. So whenever the patient comes, her patient, age, husband name, parity, whether the membranes are ruptured or not. If the membranes are ruptured, the color of the liquor, heart pulse, BP, temperature, and what are the drugs that are given during the labor, and urine for ketone bodies, glucose, albumin. These are the things will be there. Not only that, fetal heart rate and alert line and action line will be there. So we have to plot the partograph so that the delivery is below between alert and action line. So please go through the partograph. That is more important to prevent obstructed or delayed labor. And we can, whenever there is obstructed labor or delayed labor, we can detect in time by using partograph, and we can prevent morbidity and sometimes even mortality because of perforation in grand multipara. So next comes the anemia. So anemia is, already I told you, we have to supplement iron folic acid tablets. The government is giving 100 iron folic acid tablets, and we have to treat the anemia by giving by deworming, isn't it? When you are supposed to give deworming, you are not supposed to deworm the patient in first trimester. Only in the second and third trimester we can deworm the patient, and we can give iron and folic acid supplementation. Not only that, we can give chloroquine injections or tablets also prophylactically whenever there is malaria is endemic. Okay, some Jangareddy Gudam, those cases will be there near agency areas. Malaria is more common, so we can give them chloroquine as a prophylactic. Not only that, we have to watch the hemoglobin, and if the hemoglobin is less, see if it is less than 7 grams, always give blood transfusion, and that also depends upon the time of her gestational age. If it is near the term, immediately blood transfusion. Otherwise, we can give iron sucrose injections. So what are the things we can avoid for maternal mortality? Social evils, illiteracy. We can improve the literacy, isn't it? Early pregnancies can be avoided, and unregulated fertility. We can use family planning methods, and unsafe abortions can be prevented. Socioeconomic standards can be improvised, and maternity services, with the help of the government services, we can improve the maternity services. And they won't utilize also, even some people, because of ignorance, they won't utilize the facilities that are given by the government. So underutilization of the existed services also they won't use. Different facilities. These are the things which we can improve to avoid the social factors. What are the steps to reduce maternal mortality? What are the things we can do? We can give basic antenatal, internatal, and postnatal care, isn't it? So for that, the government has given PHC. In PHCs, we already know ANM, staff nurses, lady health visitors, and auxiliary nerve midwives. These are the people who are employed in the PHCs to look after the all pregnant ladies, isn't it? They will take at least 4 visits. See, quality of antenatal care, minimum of 4 antenatal visits, including the early registration they will do, and they will take the patient, and every visit they will get hemoglobin, urine examination to the patient, and scans are also advisable. First they thought See, this is the antenatal care, internatal care, and essential newborn care. In the antenatal, early registration is a must. A minimum of 4 visits at least by WHO. First one is at the 16 weeks, second is 24 to 28 weeks. This they will ask you in Viva also. In third, 32 weeks, and fourth will be 36 weeks. These are the main visits which we have to consider, and we have to strengthen the referral system. Routine immunization with tetanus toxoid we have to give, and supplementation with iron and folic acid in antenatal period. And in the internatal care, already I told you, by skilled person, we should deliver the mother, and not 5 C's that are important. Already I told you, clean surroundings, clean surface, clean hands, clean cut, clean umbilical area. That are more important. And postnatal care is also important. We have to restore the health of the mother, both physically and mentally. And care of the newborn is important. Care of the newborn means early and exclusive breastfeeding, and we have to advise them family planning services also whenever you are discharging the patient, and safe abortion services. And essential newborn include clean delivery, resuscitation at birth, prevention of hypothermia, prevention of infection, breastfeeding, already I told you, and referral of sick newborn is important. And not only that, for the improvement of the skilled human resources, the government is conducting so many programs. What are the programs? An 18-week program for doctors, MBBS doctors, in life-saving anesthesia skills for emergency obstetric care. Usually, it is conducted for 18 weeks. In Tamil Nadu, there are 24 weeks they are conducting. And not only that, a 16 weeks training program for in the obstetric management skills, including cesarean section, in collaboration with FOXI. So this is also for 24 weeks in Tamil Nadu. Remaining places, it is 16 weeks in obstetric care. Not only that, a 10-day training program also in a basic emergency obstetric care for all the medical officers, and a 3-week training program for ANMs, staff nurses, lady health visitors, and skilled birth attendants. These are the usually programs the government is conducting. And not only that, maternal mortality conferences they are conducting at frequent joint consultation with the specialists in the management of medical disorders in pregnancy. And maternal death review. Maternal mortality meetings are very much important because we have to scrutinize for what the reason for the death of the mother, how we can prevent it, and what are the precautions we have to take for the next case. And maternal mortality meeting is very much important. Not only that, periodic refresher courses for continuing education. We already know nowadays webinars. When previously we used to have conferences, isn't it? For midwiferys, everyone, they are refreshing courses in continuing CMAs. These are the refreshing courses to improve our education. And not only that, National Ambulance Service, supply of Nischay pregnancy detection kits. The government itself is supplying Nischay pregnancy kits by ANM. Immediately they have to diagnose the pregnancy as soon as they skip pregnancy. Previously, what they used to do till 3 months, they never used to come to the hospital to report that they are pregnant. Now it is not the thing. Immediately after they skip the period, they are doing their urine pregnancy test, so that if they want to continue, it's well and good. Otherwise, with the medical management only, to prevent invasive methods, these Nischay pregnancy kits are very helpful. And medical officers, capacity to building of the medical officers in safe medical techniques, blood storage centers at first referral unit, severe anemia cases to be tracked out during pregnancy and childbirth. Once the patient is diagnosed as anemia, we can't give 100 tablets to them. Okay, you use for the other 2 months or 3 months. We can't leave that. We have to track them till the delivery and childbirth. Okay. And web-enabled mother and child tracking system is very much important. And nowadays, the government is also giving a nutrition to the pregnant ladies. What are the things they are giving? Eggs they are giving, milk, tetra packets, milk they are giving some 3 liters, ragi food, so many things they are giving. And Mata Sisu Express, you might be observed on the roads. They are taking mother to the hospital, and after delivery they are taking from hospital to the house. And not only these things, even from the community level also, we have to get some help. So religious leaders will be present, healthcare professionals, and previous safe motherhood committees, some will be present. And not only this, Lions Club, Rotary Club, all these people, they will educate the pregnant ladies. With all their help, they can educate which are important, what are the precautions they have to take, what are the essentials are necessary during pregnancy. Everything they will educate the pregnant ladies in villages. And policy makers are to organize community education, motivation and formation of safe motherhood committee at local level. All the referral system should be strengthened. Okay, whenever you call, immediately the ambulance should come to the place nearby. So sufficient ambulance services should be, that is, the referral system should be strengthened. To develop written management protocols in every hospital, they should write all the protocols. See how the magnesium sulfate is for all, everything in the, so that the patient can read in their own language. To improve standard and quality of care by organizing refreshing courses of healthcare. Already I told you, periodic audit of existing healthcare, not only the maternal mortality, and what are the things which we have to improve our medical field. We have to audit every month, we have to, and implement the changes we need. And legislative and policy actions are girl, child and adolescents should have good nutrition, education and economic opportunities. There shouldn't be any gender differences and risk for unprotected sex. And decentralization of the services is very much important. See, not only in the cities or in the district headquarters, the services should be present. In each and every, till the village, decentralization of the services to make them available to all the women. And safe abortion should be carried. And social inequalities and discrimination of the gender should be removed. And government nowadays, now Janani Suraksha Yojana is also a short answer for you. It is under the NRHM. This is a main aim is to reduce maternal and infant mortality. So what are the things they are doing? The scheme includes urban mothers. They are giving rupees 700 paid to the rural mothers, 600 paid to the urban mothers, and rupees 500 is given to mothers who deliver at home. Not only that, they are giving free cashless delivery, free cesarean sections. They are doing free drugs. Not only that, government, even in our ashram hospitals also, the same thing is doing. Free drugs and consumables, free diagnostics, free diet during stay in hospital, and free provision of blood, exemption from user charges, free transport from home to healthcare institution, free transport between facilities in case of referral, and free drop from institution to home after 48 hours of stay. And other programs which include are Navajat Shishu Suraksha Karyakramam, Rashtriya Bala Swachha Karyakramam, and Rashtriya Kishore Swachha Karyakramam. Okay, these are the causes for maternal and how we can prevent. So causes, you remember by this time, I think, hemorrhage, infection, hypertensive disorders, obstructed labor and sepsis. Okay, these things which we have to do. And non-obstetric cases, already I told you, and others, infections, any typhoid or accidents. So, okay, and how you can prevent, and these are the programs which we are doing. I think you understand. Shall I stop here? Thank you.